Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of Ranking the Albums, the show we do each and every Sunday here on the channel, where we take a catalog and rank the albums, whether it's 2 albums or 15 albums. If it's a catalog with like 25, 30 albums, we may do a top 10, that sort of thing. But we cover all the bases here, all the different genres that we discuss here on the channel. So today we're going to take a look at a very cool band. Only had 4 albums. 3 that were released back in the day when they were an active band, and then a 4th album, which was recorded, never released, but released many, many years later. We're going to include that here as well. The band is called Thre Man Army. So some of you may be saying, well, Pete, I've never heard of Thre Man Army before. Well, but maybe you've heard of the 2 main guys in the band, the Gurvitz brothers, Paul and Adrian Gurvitz. Adrian on guitars, vocals, and keyboards, and Paul on bass and lead and backing vocals, right? They were previously in a very cool psychedelic hard rock band called Gun. And then after the demise of Thre Man Army, they of course went on to join Ginger Baker, formerly of Cream and Blind Faith, to form the Baker Gurvitz Army. So they went from Thre Man Army to Baker Gurvitz Army, right? All sorts of armies happening here. So 4 albums, like I said, 3 that were released back in the day pretty quickly after each other. And then the long-lost 4th album released in 2005. So 1971 was the release of the first album. By the mid-70s, they were basically done as a band. So again, Adrian Gurvitz, vocals, guitars, keyboards. Paul Gurvitz, bass and vocals. On most of the albums, you have Tony Newman on drums. He was previously with Jeff Beck. But on the debut album, you have Mike Kelly, formerly of Spooky Tooth, on drums, as well as Buddy Miles. Of course, Buddy Miles, Jimi Hendrix, and the Electric Flag, and his own solo thing, right? He also played drums and organ on that debut album. So I'm going to rank these in my order of preference. And we're going to start off with, at number 4, Thre Man Army, Title 3. Although it's actually their 4th album. They did this kind of weird thing with their albums where they would give a couple of them titles that did not agree with the sequence of when they were released, right? So this is called 3, yet it's their 4th album, right? So again, recorded during the latter part of 73, throughout 74. Band broke up though, didn't release the album. Record label wasn't interested till 2005. Many, many years later, this particular reissue, this came out on Inside Out, okay? Interesting label for the band, but yeah. 3 days, and basically, again, this has Paul Gurvitz, Adrian Gurvitz, and Tony Newman, so the classic trio of the band Thre Man Army, right? So you've got 3 days to go, and for those of you, before I get started here, so basically, what is this band all about? Pretty much a super heavy rock band, for the most part. They do blues and blues rock as well, some more kind of like folky stuff too, but for the most part, this is just a really good guitar-driven hard rock band power trio type of thing, right? Adrian Gurvitz, terrific guitar player. If you've never heard of him, never listened to him, you've come to the right show here, folks. 3 days to go, starts off the album here. Sounds a lot like Wishbone Ash, right? Kind of textured acoustic electric guitars, and then it turns into this big bombastic, almost like The Who type of thing, right? Great song. Then you got Dog's Life, kind of bluesy, followed up by Jubilee, which rocks hard, but it's got like a little touch of glam to it. Kind of like maybe David Bowie circa Man Who Sold the World, Ziggy Stardust, that type of thing. Really good. Lots of rampaging Adrian Gurvitz guitars. Really like that song a lot. Really cool. Then you got full-blown acoustic guitars on Look at the Sun. You have a song called Don't Want to Go Right Now, which has a strong cream flavor. There's a lot of cream elements on these albums, too. No surprise that Ginger Baker chose to join up with these guys, because if you listen to a lot of their music, there's a heavy-duty cream feel quite a bit. This song has lots of riffing, blending acoustic and electric guitar layers on the second half of the song. Really, really cool track. Come to the Party. Kind of bluesy, kind of folky. Not one of my favorites on here, but it's got a real catchy chorus. Let's Go Get Laid is a cool kind of bluesy rocker, though it seems like missing guitars. It's like mostly piano driven. It's like, because it's a pretty cool song, but it's like there should be some cool like bluesy hard rock riffing. It's not really there. You got a song called Doctor, high energy rocker. To me sounds like a cross between classic early Who and Humble Pie. Really like that one. And then you got the closer, which is You'll Find Love. Another bluesy number. Lots of slide and acoustic guitars. A lot of slide guitar on a lot of these albums too. I think this album, there's some good material here, but it's not very focused. Sounds a little half-baked and kind of like a collection of demos. But if you're interested in checking out this band, I highly recommend it because it's part of their history. And like I said, there is some really good stuff on here. So definitely worth checking out. All right, on to number 3. We're going to go with their third album, which is called 2, Thre Man Army 2. But again, it's their third album. See what they do there? Kind of strange. Again, same trio, same lineup, right? Opener, Polecat Woman, terrific song. Fast-paced, heavy blues rocker. Love the riffs. On this album, they utilize some like female vocals. They got like a trio of singers. And you can hear that addition of the female backing singers on this particular track, especially on the chorus. Gives it kind of like that like latter period Humble Pie feel, right? Cool slide guitar solo in this, really good song. Today is up next. Atmospheric, bluesy. Overall, the song isn't that great, but man, the guitar solo from Adrian is absolutely ripping, and it takes up the whole second half of the song. Very, very cool. Flying is up next. Sounds like heavy duty, big and rockin' cream. Love it. Great song. Space is the Place. Lengthy number. Weepy slide guitar. Strings. Interesting song. It's kind of different for them, right? Then you got Irving, which is absolutely crushing. Big, heavy rock, huge riffs, blistering lead guitar, crashing drums. It's an instrumental. Excellent song. Just over 4 minute song. Really, really cool. One of the best songs on the album. You got Laid Back Blues comes in for I Can't Make the Blind See. It has some nice slide guitar and emotional vocals. Not one of my favorites here, but it's okay. Burning Angel, that's a good one. Wild, busy, hard rock song. Cranking guitars, organ, really cool organ. Acrobatic drumming. I mean, Tony's a really, really good drummer. And then you got In My Eyes, which closes things out. Sounds to me like Mountain, right? It's got those mountain melodies and textures, but the big riffs. Good hard rocker. So overall, I think, and this is a fairly short album, it's like about 33 minutes long or something like that. You know, a couple mediocre tracks, but overall, really, really good, strong stuff. Coming up for number 2, I'm going to go with their second album, which is called Mahisha. But here in the States, it was released just called Thre Man Army here in the States. So Mahisha and everywhere else, Thre Man Army here in the States. You got the opening track, which is called My Yiddish Mama. Very, very cool, instrumental. Got some traditional kind of like Yiddish, Jewish musical themes, whatnot, but very cool. Great guitar work, very cool. Hold On is up next. Big, heavy rocker. Great riffs. Stabbing lead guitar. Think of all the heavy rock bands of the, this is 1973, of that era. Stands right up there. Really good song. Come Down to Earth also rocks really hard. Take Me Down from the Mountain, more of a bluesier piece, but nicely done. Got Woman, searing, quick little blues rocker, but just so in your face. Great guitar riffs. Reminds me of kind of like, think of like the early James Gang meets Cream. Really good stuff. Then you got the more melodic Take a Look at the Light, which rocks. Killer lead and slide guitar. Good tune. Tony's drumming is absolutely awesome on this particular one. Really, really good. He's really great on these albums in general. Then you got Can I Leave the Summer, which is, it's kind of wild. It reminds me of like Taste, Rory Gallagher's first band, Taste. Reminds me of that meets like the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Big busy drumming and big riffs and just sizzling lead guitar all over the place, but still really kind of bluesy, just big epic sounding. And that really epitomizes this whole band and this particular album in general. Really, really good track. And then you got The Trip, which closes out the album. And that's kind of a little quieter based on the rest of the album. It's kind of jangly, bluesy, acoustic, electric guitars all over the place. Kind of the lush vocals kind of just like floating over the top. Overall, though, a really, really strong album. And it was almost my number 1. But my number 1 can only be my number 1. And it is number 1. So, of course, I rank these all in the actual order that they were released, right? So, A Third of a Lifetime, the debut album from Thre Man Army. This is excellent. Butter Queen starts, blistering hard rocker with some fiery lead guitar work from Adrian. And Buddy Miles plays drums on this track. Oh, he's so good. Man, just rumbling drums. Just what a great song. Butter Queen, one of my favorite songs in the catalog. Really good. Then you got Days. another guitar-driven rocker. Then you got Another Way, which again reminds me of Cream, bluesy hard rock. Really, really cool. Then you got the title track, which is more of a lush acoustic piece with strings. They like using strings every now and then, right? Usually get 1 or 2 tracks per album that have some strings. Nice one, cool bluesy instrumental with some sizzling wah-wah guitar solos from Adrian. Then you got the song Thre Man Army, which reminds me of Wishbone Ash, like Argus era Wishbone Ash, or definitely the first album, which came out right around the same time. Excellent multi-track guitars, acoustic and electric guitars, very melodic, majestic. Really good song. Really good song. I almost wish this band did a little more instrumentals because they did them very, very well. Again, Agent Man comes up next. That also sounds like Wishbone Ash, maybe with a touch of Blind Faith. Again, excellent drumming, excellent guitars, really good. And then you have See What I Took, which reminds me of like instrumental Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac. Wonderful melodic guitar soloing, just really, really tasty stuff. And the bass from Paul, really nicely done on here. Also a little bit of organ added into it as well, which I really dig quite a bit. Then you got Midnight. That's more of a folky acoustic piece, but it's got the soaring mellotron, nice, moody blues, Barclay James Harvest feels to it, and then a ripping guitar solo at the end. Like an epic guitar solo at the end. Really cool track. Something totally different from them. And then you got the closer, which is Together, which rocks really hard with some rampaging lead guitar from Adrian. All right. And if you get the repertoire reissue, you get a couple bonus tracks, What's Your Name and Travel and Record around the same time period. Those are also really good too, bluesy rockers, right? I think this is an incredible album if you've never heard it before. I want to show this real quick. Shot of the guys. This, of course, like I said, is the original trio, but Tony would join the band shortly thereafter. There they are again. It's an even bigger picture, right? That's with Mike from Spooky Tooth. So, yeah, this is a really cool band, guys. If you haven't checked them out, I think these albums are well worth your time. So, seek them out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can still get these out there. And like I said, the Gurvitz brothers went on to join up with Ginger Baker for Baker Gurvitz Army shortly thereafter. Those albums are fine as well. Maybe don't rock quite as hard as these. Those are more kind of like hard rock blues, a little bit of prog, little jazzy things right there. And of course, the Gurvitz brothers went on to do other things in the industry. And Adrian has been a producer for number of years. So it's not like they kind of disappeared off the face of the earth. So yeah, so go check them out. Thre Man Army, featuring Paul and Adrian Gurvitz. Excellent, excellent albums here. If you love hard rock stuff, you'll totally dig this. So do not miss these albums. And if you're familiar with them, rank them down in the comments section as you like them. So I've got the debut, Mahisha, 2, and 3. That's my order. Let us know your order and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page and our Cameo page. So thanks in advance for all your support there. And we'll see you real soon here with more stuff. Tune in 1 week today for more Ranking the Album shows. I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening next week because the next couple of weeks are kind of in flux. We've got holidays coming up here in the States, and I'm going to be away here and there for a couple days here and there. So it's like, I've got lots in the plans for Ranking the Album shows, but some of the ones that I plan on doing with a co-host may not happen quite yet because I'm just not going to be able to coordinate stuff. So I may have to do like kind of quick little solo ones on my own. But we've got like the Guess Who in the works. We got for in a couple months Nebula, and I mean the list is long. We've got Todd Rundgren and Pablo Cruz and Player and Dark Tranquility, and running the gamut of all sorts of stuff. Simon Phillips Protocol and lots of things on the list. A lot of bands on the list. We'll get to them all as we get to them. So thanks in advance for all your support here, guys. So stay tuned 1 week from today for Ranking the Albums, whatever it might be. But till then, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.